Hello there,
General Kenobi.
and welcome to another episode of the Prequel Gang Podcast, the show where we talk about movies completely unscripted. Today we are talking about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, my personal least favorite movie
Oh
in the
boy.
in the Skywalker
Yeah.
saga.
I think this one, as a movie, it's okay, but it really doesn't. If you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's really bad in the scheme of the plot of Star Wars.
Yeah, that's basically what I thought of The Last Jedi, but in this case, like, the first time I watched it in theaters after I didn't enjoy watching Force Awakens and Last Jedi for like, the first time I watched those movies, I actually
Yeah.
really liked the Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was a really good movie, but then, after I watched all the movies again, and then I actually really enjoyed Force Awakens, and, like, I somewhat found Last Jedi to be kind of okay. Now I was just kind of like this movie is still okay, but like it's just it's
Yeah,
not that
it's
good.
good as a movie, but it's bad for the plot
It's really
of the whole
messy.
thing.
It is really
Yeah.
messy. And
Okay,
a
so.
lot of the reason it's messy is because of of how the Last Jedi was handled. So
hmm
yeah, that's basically it. Um, but yeah, let's talk about
So,
the movie.
how do we start out? I think we start out with
Disney doesn't understand
Finn.
lightsabers.
Uh, no. We start out with Finn and Ray and the whole gang getting some information from a rebel contact, a resistance contact that's in the First Order, and it was actually voiced by Mark Hamill, by the way. So yeah, he was in this movie too. Well, aside from his Force Ghost, but yeah. Um, so yeah, they got a bunch of yeah, and then light speed skipping happens. So what
What
they
even
do
is
is
that?
the First Order attacks them, and Poe does something called light speed skipping, which is completely new, by the way, where basically they just rapidly go in and out of light speed, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, which they basically just copied. Um, yeah, I guess I'll link. We'll edit in a video of that. But yeah, and then basically they escape and they get back to the Resistance base with the information. And then it cuts to a shot of Kylo Ren killing a bunch of random people on, which actually the movie doesn't tell us this, but this is Mustafar, probably one
What?
of the most, yeah, it's one of the most important planets in the Star Wars galaxy,
I
but the movie
legit
didn't
did
tell us
not know
that.
that.
Yeah, this movie leaves out so much detail. But yeah, basically the reason Kylo Ren was there is to find a Sith Wayfinder, which he's going to use to get to a planet called Exegol, which is where Palpatine is. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Um, the whole plot of this movie is just messy and convoluted.
yeah.
So yeah, in the meantime, I kind of forget what happens. Do you remember?
No. But
Yeah, that's how convoluted the plot
but
is.
like, actually, wait. Yes, Ray was like training with Leia, I guess, and
Leia.
like,
Oh, and apparently Leia did Jedi training and had a lightsaber in after the OT, which is just weird.
yeah, that's just completely out of left field. But then,
Yeah.
basically, Ray is like training, which in this case, it actually kind of looks more like the training from Empire Strikes Back because she's like actually running through a course with like challenges and stuff instead of just
Uh-huh.
swinging a
It's way
lightsaber
better
around.
than at a rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
To show you the power of lightsabers, I saw this rocket path.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that was really good actually.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I was not expecting that, but she still to show she still saws like a tree in half to show her the power of lightsabers,
Yeah.
and it lands on BB-8.
And BB-8 can get stuck. Get stuck, yeah. So then, basically Leia's like, oh yeah, good job. And, yeah, that happens. Oh, and doesn't Ray feel like something like dark happens during that? Like she feels like the dark side or something
I
while
don't
she's
know,
training? Yeah,
something like that.
doesn't matter. Um, but basically, oh god, and then what happens next, dude? I don't remember the plot of this movie
Uh,
because it's so convoluted.
Ray and Poe are like arguing because like on the one hand, Poe is like got because of what Poe did, the Millennium Falcon is on fire, and because of what Rey did, BB-8 is like in not very good condition, and they have a bit
Yeah,
of an
so they're
argument.
like arguing or whatever. They just have a pointless argument. Oh boy, it's kind of a headache. The beginning of this movie, before the plot actually starts. Okay, so then basically Kylo Ren uses the Sith Wayfinder to get to Exegol, and he meets Palpatine, and it turns out that like Palpatine survived somehow.
Yeah,
Was
and
it? They never tell us. Was it
yeah,
cloning? Was it the dark side? Did he do like a Darth Maul kind of thing? What happened? And
yeah, I have
basically
no idea.
Snoke
And
was just like was him.
what's even weirder is that Palpatine literally says, "I've died before."
Yeah.
Like, what is that supposed to
Bas-
mean?
I have
What?
no idea. Basically, yeah, he was controlling Snoke the whole time. And yeah. Also, the flaw with this is whenever there's a new planet in Star Wars, what George Lucas tended to do was he had a shot of the spaceship landing, which like gets the audience like familiarized with the environment, what kind of planet it is. But he did. They didn't do this with Exegol. Like they just had that shot of Kylo Ren just walking, and yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, the galaxy like receives a transmission or whatever, and so the whole resistance gang goes off to find a Sith Wayfinder, so that yeah, they can defeat Palpatine, I guess.
Yeah, and this is like the first time in the sequel trilogy when Rey, Finn, and Poe are like all working together simultaneously in one group,
Uh
as
huh.
opposed to like separately doing separate things.
Yeah. So basically, what they start off with is they go to like this planet that's under First Order control, right? Because something to do with three. Oh wait, no. So they go to this desert planet, I think. I don't know how they
Yeah,
found it, but yeah, they went to this desert planet, and basically Lando was there, which is actually pretty cool.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
He had like a little cameo in this movie. Thankfully, they didn't kill him off. But yeah, he goes and he like tells them like that there's some wreckage somewhere, and that's where like the key to like finding the Sith Wayfinder is going to be. It's basically like a prop hunt, like a wild goose chase, basically.
yes,
There's a word for it, but I forget. Gerrymandering. No, that's like a social studies thing. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's all like convoluted. Basically, so they go to this wrecked spaceship and they find out that that Rey's parents were actually like nobody, and they tried to protect her from Palpatine by dropping her off. Well, they were actually Palpatine's kids. I mean, no, not one of them was at least. We don't know which, but one of them was.
yeah, and that kind
And
of like I'm not sure how I feel about that because like at no point during like the prequels or the original trilogy was there any mention of Palpatine ever having
yeah,
kids,
like
but
not to
yeah.
mention whoever's yeah, who's like who'd Palpatine frick. Or did he just like create them? Like it's just so convoluted.
Yeah,
They leave out
honestly.
so much detail.
Yeah, this whole trilogy is a mess.
Yeah, it really is.
But anyway, then there was the part where they like sink into some quicksand or whatever, and Finn wants to
There's a big
tell Rey
old,
something, but then we
and
never
then
find out what it is. Like,
yeah.
what did Finn want to tell Rey?
Oh, but first they find a new droid, which is just pointless, and then
Yeah,
it's basically just plot armor, and then yeah. No, not plot armor. I'm getting my definitions mixed up today, in case you can't tell. It's basically just like a pointless little detail that they have, and
yeah. So basically, what you're saying is that they have these pointless details in the movie, but then the details that actually matter are not in the movie.
yeah, and then basically they find a dagger, which is gonna tell them where the thing's at.
Yeah, but
So yeah,
it's in a Sith language because that's a thing
and then
apparently.
3PO can translate it, but he doesn't want to because they want this movie to be longer.
Yeah,
So
and actually, he's not programmed to be able to like actually say what it's translated to, and like why would Anakin Skywalker, the guy who made 3PO,
yeah,
program that? Actually, wait, this
it's just
brings up a question. like Anakin Skywalker built 3PO when he was a child, so like why is 3PO able to like translate over like 6 million forms of communication or whatever? Like why was that
I don't know,
possible?
maybe he just like bought a programming thing or something.
Yeah,
It's weird.
maybe there was like a translating in it, but yeah, whatever.
It's an irrelevant detail. Oh, frick.
Yeah, in a lot
Um,
of ways.
but yeah, basically, that happens, and
That
it's
happens,
just
and then Poe decides, hey, we need to go to like this other place because a friend person is there,
oh yeah,
and
because that way they can get 3PO to say what he means. So
yeah,
they go to this planet which is under First Order control, and they meet like Poe's girlfriend or something, and yeah,
yeah, and then
um,
there was a little argument between all the characters, and apparently Poe was like a spice runner, whatever that means, and
basically what Han Solo was doing before New Hope.
okay,
So, God,
and
this
so
movie is
then
convoluted.
they have uh like they get 3PO to say what he needs to say, and then
But they wipe his memory, and then somehow they get his memory back by just like talking to him,
no,
which is
he gets his memory back later. Like R2D2 eventually brings his memory back
oh yeah,
when they go back to the forest place.
that's not how RAM works though. That's not how computers work. I don't know. Maybe they work different in Star Wars,
Yeah,
but yeah. So then, yeah, now that they have 3PO like turn into go all red eyes on them, which why do his eyes turn red? Like why is that a feature? And then so basically they find out that they need to go to like this big old like another like Iceland planet kind of thing,
yeah. And
and so they do.
before that, like the dagger thing got confiscated from them, and Rey goes onto the First Order ship place to get it back, and then it was in
Yeah,
Kylo
I forgot
Ren's
about
room,
that.
and they have like a lightsaber battle
Another
through the Force
force. No, no, no.
thing.
First, I have a force FaceTime call, and then yeah, lightsaber battle through the
Yeah,
force.
I mean it looks really cool, but it
But
doesn't make any
why?
sense at all.
Yeah, I feel like they needed to jam in another lightsaber battle in there
Yeah,
because
this
they
movie
didn't really have
honestly
many in this movie.
this movie mostly rides on visuals, kind of like The Last Jedi, but like I
Yeah,
don't know. At least The
at
Last
least a
Jedi
little
wasn't
better
as
visuals.
convoluted as this.
Yeah, at least the plot actually makes kind of sense.
Let's see. Then they go to another place, and Finn finds another person who used to be a stormtrooper.
And yeah, whoa, a relevant detail and a relevant character. But basically, yeah, they go and oh, whoa, it's the wreckage of the Death Star 2. Was this planet supposed to be Endor, by the way? Because they never told us.
I don't
What?
know.
Wait, was it Endor? I don't remember.
I mean, it might have been, but at the same time, there's no Ewoks, so it might as well not have
Yeah.
been Endor at all.
Uh huh.
So it doesn't matter at this
So
point.
yeah, basically, it turns out that the Sith Wayfinder is in the wreckage of the Death Star 2. So then Rey goes in there and she sees like Sith Rey or something,
Yeah,
and
honestly, what even is that?
yeah, her base fear for this movie is basically turning into a Sith Lord, which I don't know why. It's just kind of stupid overall.
Yeah.
um,
And then Kylo Ren is there. They fight a little bit, and then a big plot hole happens after the fight.
uh,
Basically,
yeah,
Rey ends up stabbing Kylo Ren in the chest, and like he's dying, and then she uses the Force to
force
heal the
healing.
wound. And now the reason this is a
Why?
plot hole, the reason that this is a big plot hole,
No one
is
has ever
because
used it before. Like, what the heck? Why couldn't they use that on Qui-Gon?
that's what I was
Tell me
saying.
why.
If this was possible, then nothing about like episodes 2 through 6 could have happened the way it did because Qui Gon would have been alive.
Yeah.
So this can't have happened. It
Yeah,
can't.
it couldn't. It really couldn't. So then, basically, yeah, and then Kylo Ren just chucks his lightsaber into the water, for no apparent
Yeah.
reason at
And
all.
then I guess this really is a Disney movie because suddenly, look, Han Solo, Kylo Ren's father is talking to him
Is a
and like
Force Ghost.
basically,
They don't even make the Force Ghost in this movie look like Force Ghost. Like
yeah,
Han Solo looks real.
yeah. Honestly, what even is
Yeah.
this? What is this movie?
What is this tomfoolery? And then yeah, Kylo Ren is a good guy now, I guess.
I
Why?
guess I don't know.
It's like Disney's twist villains, but opposite.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
yeah. Then basically, God, I don't even remember this movie because it's
Uh,
so bad.
yeah, like Ray goes back
It's
to
just
the
it
island
drags on for way
place.
too long.
Like Ray goes
And
back to the
then
island place,
she
and
gets big mad and big sad, and yeah, then she like burns Kylo Ren's starfighter or whatever because she stole it.
no, she throws her lightsaber into a fire, and then basically because the director of this movie wanted to make up for the mistakes of the Last Jedi, basically Luke admits that he's wrong, and then he shows that Leia had a lightsaber too. And also,
Uh
actually,
huh.
wait a second, wait a hot second. We forgot to mention this in the last part, but in The Last Jedi, like Anakin's lightsaber got destroyed by Rey and
Not
Kylo
Rey's
Ren's.
lightsaber,
Yes,
Anakin's lightsaber.
but
And then
then in
somehow they
this
get it
movie,
back.
yeah, I don't know. Like maybe
Yeah, no, if a Kyber
she made it.
crystal gets destroyed, there's only one of that Kyber crystal. Like, did you do your research on lightsabers? Clearly not, Disney.
I mean, maybe there was a possibility that someone made a new one like Luke did in Episode 6.
Yeah.
Well, rather
Yes.
before Episode 6, but whatever. Um,
But where would you even find the parts to build a lightsaber? Because I'm pretty sure the Empire would have destroyed all of them.
but
But yeah,
then again, how did Luke do it in before Episode 6? Like they never
I don't
answer
know,
that.
dude.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Um, but basically, so yeah, then Rey goes to Exegol to fight Palpatine, and then Kylo Ren also goes. So yeah, they like there's a bunch of like random Sith people there.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
I don't even know where
And
those
then
they came from. What is even going on
and
here?
then, yeah, basically they have a big old battle in space because there's a big Sith fleet or something, and they
Something
destroy
like
the
that.
Sith fleet. So yeah, and then basically they think like all hope is lost, and then yeah, a bunch of people show up, like they basically just copied Avengers Endgame. Anyway, then Palpatine goes all like Sith lightning on everyone, and he shoots down a bunch of ships, and then Rey just like I don't know. Basically, the same thing happened in Episode 3 between Palpatine and Mace Windu, where like he electrocutes himself for a second time. Like you think he would have learned, but no, I guess not.
Uh,
And yeah, they defeat Palpatine, and then Kylo Ren dies, I think, for some reason.
yeah, he dies, and then Leia dies again. Like no explanation for Leia's
Yeah.
death. But
Like they didn't even need to kill her off in this movie.
yeah.
Like I know that Carrie Fisher died, unfortunately, but like
But that was before this movie got made, so I don't
that
even know
was
how they got
yeah.
her in this movie. How did they do that?
I
How?
think they had already recorded her stuff, but like yeah. Basically, yeah, like dude, it was at the end of the movie. They didn't need to kill her off. But yeah, then everyone has a big celebration,
And then Chewie gets a medal.
and then why did they also added like an unnecessary lesbian scene in like it didn't do anything for the plot like
Wait, what?
why do you,
When
they
when
did
was where?
I'll text it to you. Yeah, they freaking it didn't do anything for the plot. This was just Disney trying to appeal to a wider audience, trying to think like they were trying to appeal to like the social justice. They were trying to make it look like they accepted like lesbians and stuff more. It's
mean,
like I don't
they
have
should.
a problem with it, but like they could have added it so that it made sense for the plot, like and not just randomly, because that just shows that they want a wider audience.
Yeah, honestly.
Makes sense?
Yeah, Disney doesn't understand Star Wars, basically.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's what we
that
learned
movie
from that's
in a
what we learned
nutshell.
from this trilogy is that Disney doesn't understand Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
I mean, The Force Awakens
Basically.
was great, but then like even it doesn't lead anywhere good, basically. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
Rise of Skywalker, definitely the worst in the
Yeah,
Skywalker
pretty bad
saga.
movie. One
But
of the worst, at least.
yeah,
Yeah, and now we're done with the sequels. We never have to go back there again, hopefully.
yeah,
Um, anyway, yeah, make sure to leave a like and potentially consider subscribing, please.
and hit the
And
bell and keep having the
hit the
high
bell.
ground.
Keep having the high ground, guys. Guys, bye.